You're grooving to the music on Jamroom. Only on Good Morning Delhi with Sarthak.
That's exactly what you're doing, and that's exactly the idea, to get a musician in the studio, get him to or her to actually bring in some musical instruments so that my inner studio can be satisfied with the sound, and then get them to play some lovely, lovely music. And just such an absolute joy and a pleasure to have old friends in the studio where we can actually talk and make animated faces and and not have the fear to be judged. And the wonderful Rohit Kulkarni is here with us. Rohit, of course, was an integral part of Think Floyd. If you had been around for that tribute band to Pink Floyd, you'd have known his music. But he's also been doing some stellar work by himself, also sessions work. Rohit, as usual, it is an absolute pleasure and a joy to have you in studio, man.
It is my pleasure to be here, as always.
It's always such a you started in analog times, didn't you? You remember where the journey of music began?
Yeah, I actually do. My dad used to play music all the time at home. And he used to have all kinds of collections, from Indian classical to the Beatles to the Floyd to everything. And he used to play everything at home. And I think I just picked it up from there. And my fascination for technology and music started right from there.
But was it the get the girls principle that got you to pick the guitar up?
No chance.
Thank God. Just for the love of the instrument.
Yes. I mean, if that's a byproduct, I don't have a problem.
I agree.
The focus is music.
I said this was also the time when school competitions were huge. Massive. As far as Western music was concerned.
Absolutely.
I think if I remember, Cornucopia was one. There was Bang Club and all of that. So were you a part of that? Did you have a school band and all? Were you the cool one in school?
For some reason, I always went solo. So I remember there was this big competition during my school days called Pepsi Storm.
Oh yeah,
and
of course.
For me that was everything. That's all I dreamt of. So I participated in it twice. And the last year that I did participate, which was actually the last year of Pepsi Storm, I actually won the third prize in solo singing. And that was literally like a dream come true for me, because my dad made me practice for 6 months. And the song that I did was Bridge Over Troubled Waters. That whole journey of sitting down and practicing for 6 months, it was beautiful. I could relive those days again.
And I'm sure, that's the journey as well that I want to talk about, because most of the people from sort of our generation or our time, not meaning to make us feel old, but for them, the Western music scene was exactly how well you could cover a rock band or someone from the Western sphere.
Right.
From there to now, when there's a very, very vibrant scene where we're actually grooving to music that has been written by us, that has character that's all our own. That's a journey that you've also taken, haven't you?
Yes. We started off, so for me, I've always believed that it's very important to cover artists in the beginning for you to expand your knowledge and know how things were done. And then you take all of that knowledge and culminate it into your own style and your own vision. So then I did all of that and I came up with an album.
Yes, and what was it called?
The Boy Who Dreamed.
The Boy Who Dreamed. And since that dream has come true, and gloriously so, it is only proper that we ask you to sing for us. So what are you gonna play?
I am gonna sing The Boy Who Dreams title song, which is called Dreamed. And the whole album is a journey which starts from dreaming, and which is the first song, and it ends on Dreamed. So this song that I'm going to sing is Dreamed, and the last line of the song is There Goes the Boy Who Dreamed.
Cannot wait. Take it away.
Here's a story about a little boy who lives in you and me, who needed to dream. Reason weighs him down, daggers all around, and they wouldn't let him be. His dreams they couldn't see. Now he stands on his own, living the dreams he knows. Whispers drowned in screams. There goes the boy who dreamed.
If you think about it, the the most memorable songs that we have in all our repertoires are the ones that transcend being just songs or just a collection of notes. No, they become memories. No,
Right, absolutely.
and your memories of the time of music competitions in school are very fresh. But what happened after? What was that moment when you decided, no, music will pay my bills?
I never thought of any of that.
No.
Never, because my
Uh-huh.
dad was like, just go to. For me, there was never anything else. I
Huh.
mean, this is
Huh.
he pushed me into competitions.
Hmm.
Then my first show that ever happened was because my dad got that show for me.
Sure.
And from there on, the journey just kept on moving. I actually never thought about anything else.
And then, of course, Think Floyd happened. Yeah.
Yes, Think Floyd happened.
Think
Before
Floyd-
that, a couple of bands happened, and then after that, finally, where I really came into my own was because I was inspired by Floyd so much.
Sure.
And I'd spent literally hours and hours and hours figuring out all the solos and singing all those parts. When Think Floyd happened, I really came into my own.
And as far as Think Floyd, of course, it's a cover band, and we need to talk about the fact that there's that whole aura around the covers where it evokes many emotions. but that was. I think Floyd, which was of course a tribute band to Pink Floyd, was literally one of the first super bands that there were, the super groups, so to speak. Because who were the faculty members of Pink
Faculty
Floyd
members
at
that time were from Parikrama and from Advaita.
Yeah.
And all of them, I think everybody came together with common interests of being inspired by the Floyd.
So there was Chintan Kalra, of course, the legendary Chintan Kalra on bass. Oni was on keyboards as well, right?
Yes.
Who was singing?
I was singing and Chintan was singing.
You
so
and Chintan,
Chintan was singing all the Roger Waters parts, and I was singing all the David Gilmour parts.
And then you were creating sound that was all your own, even while you were tipping a very, very giant hat to Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah, we try to be as close to the originals that way possible because, it was very hard to replicate what they were doing because they were experimenting so much themselves.
Yeah.
And to be able to faithfully get very close to what the Pink Floyd experience would be was a challenge for us. And we took that on, and I think we did a pretty good job at it.
And those were heady times, weren't they? Because it was a community experience. Everyone wanted new music. And of course, there was this whole thing about OCs.
OCs.
Original compositions, if you remember. But there was also pride in the fact that there were great musicians who were doing great music, even if it was reinterpretations, no?
Yeah, I think a lot of bands at that time were also doing originals. Everybody was inclined towards writing music, but I think we all came back to what we called as home.
Yeah.
From what we started off and our love for the music. So we always came back to that. And we just loved what we did.
And I think it was great for the scene because on one hand there were, the orange streets of the world, and on the other there was, and the indus streets of the world, and on the other, of course, there was Parikrama and there was Think Floyd, etc. Which spoke very beautifully about the scene that the ears were completely secular. They would take in great sound no matter where it was coming from. No,
absolutely. The audiences were also so approving of all the experimentation that bands did back in the day. We at Bangalore filled 3,000 people for our Think Floyd gig, which was like a massive gig for us at that time. It was quite a few years ago, some 7-8 years ago.
Absolutely.
We just had a blast playing for that. And we had a flying pig as well, like the Floyd did.
You had to. I mean, how can you not have performance? Absolutely. But talking of performance, you're in the Beatles phase right now, aren't you?
Oh, massively. So this is my second phase of Beatles in my life. First one was intense, but this one is literally like the way I got into Floyd.
Yeah.
Is the way I've gotten into Beatles now.
And you've just told me about the Tommy Emmanuel version of Blackbird, which I did not know
Tommy
about.
Emmanuel version of Day Tripper.
Of Day Tripper, sorry.
Yeah.
But at one point of time, I was on a Blackbird trip. I'd actually put up on my social media at least 7 versions of Blackbird that I'd heard, including one of Eddie Vedder singing it complete with bird sounds.
Oh my God.
But you have your own version which you're ready with, yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing the version that Paul McCartney did in the albums. So yeah, I mean, I love Blackbird. It's one of my favorite songs. What a beautiful melody.
By far, absolutely. Please.
Let's do it. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting.
grew up with, you can join us. You can sit around. You can listen to the music. It's just so wonderful sitting and talking to you and listening to your wonderful, wonderful interpretations and singing, Rohit. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
This is not the end. It's just a thank you, because when you listen to music, you just feel like thanking God that your ears are have been fortunate enough to appreciate that melody. There are so many of us who do not. So thank God for that. We'll be back after a short little break. Don't go, okay?